Motortown is shaping up to be quite the driving simulator experience. They just dropped the first update of 2026, and with that, they've added in oversized cargo, which adds in a new multi axle trailer, the Goliath. They've also added in a new logistics and supply chain with the addition of the copper mine, the copper concentrator factory, and the copper refinery. There's so much more to cover in this update, so today I'm going to go over everything that you need to know about the Motortown 0.7.18 update. Let's get right into it. First, I'd like to take a look at the brand new V6 engine. It's more powerful than the inline 4 and V8s that we currently have. It has 400 horsepower, and it's plenty enough engine for most cars in this game. I've went ahead and put it right here in this car, so we're gonna go here on the straightaway and see just how quick this car is. So I've put a 6-speed transmission in this car, and I took out the turbo because it was losing traction just a little too easy around corners. But even without the turbo, just the V6 engine, it's very quick. Top speed should be around like 174 if we have enough straightaway. And we ran out of fuel, but normally I think it can do about 170 with the tuning that I have on here. I'm going to find a gas station, but let's move on to the next part of the update. Before we talk about the new oversized cargo, we need to talk about the new supply chain, copper. The copper mines can be found right down here in Gwangjin. So in the middle here we have the copper concentrator. And here you just need to go to each one of these mines, deliver copper ore over to the concentrator, and that will supply copper concentrate, which you can then take all the way down here to Daejin. And as you can see right here is a new spot where you can deliver copper concentrate. So down here at the copper factory, once you bring in that copper concentrate, if you look right here, it turns it into copper rod coils. And those copper rod coils can be brought right here to the transformer factory. And here you can produce two different transformers. There's a 20 MVA and a 50 MVA. They both demand the same thing. The 50 just takes more resources. So you'll need to bring in H-beams, steel coils, copper rod coils, oil, and plastic pallets. Then if we come up here to the top of the map, down here below the power plant, we now have the tank factory. So this will produce really large tanks that you can haul with a flatbed. And here you need to bring steel coils, H-beams, and plastic pallets. So overall, it's a lot less involved to produce the tanks versus the power transformers, but the payout difference is pretty significant. With the oversized cargo, when you're loading it, you need to be a little careful. I would recommend using the new Goliath trailer as it's multi-axle. It can hold a lot more weight, and you actually have to back up your trailer and line it up correctly in order to have the load on your trailer centered and weight distributed. It's a little bit more involved, kind of like loading up the steel coils, but it's really not that bad. Once you have it on your trailer, you still need to strap it down. And from here, somebody can actually escort you if you want, or you can just drive normally and do the delivery. The payout for this is really good, but just make sure that you have the right transmission and the right truck for the job. I've been using the Longhorn Semi to try to do these runs. Even with it fully maxed out and with the Goliath trailer, it still struggles in some areas. I think it's time that we get some more powerful big engines. If you make your way to one of the new factories, you can purchase these signs for oversized loads. So you can now do escort missions and escort the large cargo loads. So anyone in the server that is hauling heavy cargo or an oversized cargo, if you hit escape and go to the main menu here, you can see what's available for you to escort. All you have to do is take your car to a shop, buy the escort license, place it on your car, and you can do these escort missions. The pay is very modest, but it is still a pretty cool feature nonetheless. You don't have to add any of the signs to your car, you just have to purchase the escort license, but I like this. It does add to the immersion, even though the pay is pretty modest. If you own a company depot, you can now deploy AI taxi drivers directly from the depot. You'll need to go into your vehicles and add the taxi vehicle as one of your company drivers. Once you've done that, you don't assign them any kind of routes. You actually go back to the depot screen, and you'll see once you've added a taxi to your depot, you're going to have this radius. This is the radius that they'll go and pick up passengers. If you want to upgrade this radius, you just click on these three dots, and you can change the taxi dispatch level from 1 to 3. It is going to cost a little bit more to run, but I definitely think it's worth it for the increased distance, especially on the South Island. You're going to notice sometimes when you go to pick up a delivery, you're going to see this little icon here. So this says this is an import, trade balance will be decreased. Some areas will say that it's an export and it's going to affect the trade balance as well. So the way this works is some cargo drop-off points at the harbor is going to export goods, and some pickup points is now going to import goods for trading. Each export and import changes the trade balance, which you can see in the main menu. So if we go right here to trade history, you can see in the last 7 days, I've not had much trade history because I've been prepping for this video. But the type of deliveries that you make can influence this and potentially give you more or less profit. If you want a little bit more control over this, you can stay in the main menu here, look directly over to the right where it says town policy. We're just going to click on this plus, and from here you can change some things, which is going to affect the trading balance, of course, but you can even lower the condition usage of your company trucks, buses, and taxis from this menu. Pretty cool little change. I think that it will affect servers, like I said, a bit more than solo players. So if you've had a chance to try this out yourself, let me know what you think about the trade balance update. We also got a brand new garbage truck. It's quite larger than the Compacti, as you can see here. This is the Atlas 6x2 garbage truck, and it might be one of the best ways to make money in the new update. If we jump inside the Compacti, which is already a good way to make money, it only has a capacity of 10. If we hop in the new garbage truck, it has a capacity of 15. Pretty big difference there. I really haven't got to test it out, but this might be one of the best new ways to make money. You can use the new garbage truck for free here at the power plant, and if you want to purchase one for yourself, it is available at the truck dealership. And just to wrap things up, we have the Jamusi flatbed, which is available at the truck dealership. You can use this at Guangzhen. It's very useful. We also have a barbershop vendor now. If you go over here to downtown, you can buy glasses and beards for your character. Always a welcome change to see more customization options being added to the game. And it wasn't long before this, they added new character models, so looks like we're getting more customization options across the board. They've also added in character emotes so you can dance with chat commands. So far it looks like you can wave, do the chicken dance, the horse dance, or point. The Dasa refinery fuel and oil production has split separately, so you'll now have to bring crude oil to produce fuel and crude oil to produce the oil. And last but not least, you can now add 5 more vehicles to your company's max vehicle count, which is always a welcome change. That means you can add more AI vehicles to your fleet. And that's going to wrap things up for the latest Motortown update. There are, of course, some small changes that I didn't include in this video, so if you want to check those out, I'll link the full patch notes in the video description. This game is turning out to be one of my favorite simulator games. There's pretty much something here for everybody, whether you want to truck drive, taxi drive, have a AI company fleet, pretty much anything you want to do, it's available in Motortown, so be sure to check out the latest update. It's been Exilent. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.